Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario with the character of Drelm. This is Drelm's second attempt to close level B6, basic level, scenario 6, or the final level of the basic level, or the final scenario of the basic level. So we're here at the Skypharaoh's throne, where at this location the difficulty of your checks against beings that have the mummy trait is increased by 4. And after you are dealt damage that is not reduced, to bury one random card from your discard pile. Okay, so there's Drelm. He is trying to find Widow and Dearly Departed. So he was thwarted. He had to regroup, but he's back at the location. Okay, advancing the blessings deck, it's a blessing of Bastet. And the first one we get is a Death Hound. Okay, apparently a few Death Hounds in this location. This is a completely new location deck. So let's see, it's 2 combat 7 checks. Okay, so Drelm has in his hand a whip. So so this is interesting. So I like it. So we're going to do strength and melee plus 1d6. Okay, we'll try the first one. So strength and melee plus 1d6. So we rolled 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweet, right on the dot. And we're going to go ahead and do another combat 7. Okay, so this one was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it says here, if the result of both checks to defeat are greater than 12, or than 11. Okay, so we did one right on the dot. Okay, so now, we succeeded in the 2 combat checks. So it says, after you act, succeed at a Constitution or Fortitude 8 check or discard a card. Well, unfortunately, Drelm does have a Blessing of the Ancients in his hand. So his dexterity is a d6, which is an auto fail. The question is do I want to... I think, shucks, they're all really good cards in the hand. So maybe it's a Blessing of Bastet. Shucks. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to take the Blessing of the Ancients as damage. That's what we're going to do. Alright, Death Hound goes away, resetting Drelm's hand. Okay, he's got a Holy Light spell now. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of the Ancients. And we find a Copish, Strength 7, or Melee 7. Drelm has D10 plus 3. For his check, he rolled a 1. Okay, just not good at getting those boons. Alright, the hand is fine. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's another Blessing of Bastet. And we get a Geniekin. So we did not examine this card. So the difficulty defeat, so there's no modifier, because this is the basic scenario, so just a straight up combat 8 check. We're going to go ahead and use the whip once again, d6 plus d10, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. 6, 7, fortunately we have the plus 3 modifier for melee, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, we are successful. Nice. So the card is banished. Alright, so we're just going to keep the hand where it's at right now. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Curse of Poisoning, which really sucks. So that goes by our deck, and we're exploring to see a Toxic Geyser. Okay, so it is a trap. Acid, Fire, Poison Veteran. So the difficulty to defeat, so there's no modifier for the difficulty to defeat. So, what we're going to do, we have Dexterity, Acrobatics, Wisdom, Survival. We have in our hand a Wing of Horus, just like we had last scenario, and we're going to try it again. We are going to roll 2d6. 2d6, try to get over 5. Alright, so we rolled a 6, 7, 8, 9. That's cool. So we recharge the Wing of Horus, and the Toxic Geyser is banished. Sweet. So now we're going to reset our hand, but we have to roll for the Curse of Poisoning, which really sucks. And we rolled a 5, and of course we would have to recharge our Remove Curse spell. So, ouch. Painful. Okay, poor Drelm. Advancing the Blessings deck, it's a Blessing of the Elements. We find a Crocodile Skin Shield. So straight up, Drelm has Constitution D6, and he rolled a 2. So he did not acquire this boon. So we will reset Drelm's hand, and we're going to roll for the Curse of Poisoning, which is a 3, so he has to recharge his Holy Light spell. That sucks. He really wanted to hold on to that. So now what we're going to do is advance the blessings deck and see what we get. Dun dun dun. Okay, so it's so here we have, so during the check against dearly departed, which is the second check, he's immune to mental and poison. So the first check is just a straight up charisma diplomacy. So it's a human sorcerer and an undead mummy. So let's see if we have anything that can help us out. Doesn't look like it. Wow. So we're in a bit of a pickle here, because as it is, Drelm's diplomacy or his charisma is just D6. So we're going to have to go ahead and roll. So I think for this, D6. So we rolled a 5. So we failed by 5. So I'm assuming this is combat damage, because here it says recharge this card to reduce acid, cold, combat, electricity, or fire damage. So, you know, it says it's a charisma diplomacy. I'm assuming it is combat damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to bury this card, recharge this card to reduce combat damage by 3. So we can reduce it by 3. We still have to take 2 points, but then we also have this in our hand, where we can recharge this card to reduce combat damage by 2. Okay, so we're going to recharge both of these cards so we don't take any damage from the failed charisma check. Now we have to go ahead and do a combat 18 check against dearly departed. And the only thing we have in our hand is our whip, but that actually is going to be kind of useful, because we're going to go ahead and roll the d10 plus 6. Alright, so we get a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But the whip states that if proficient with weapons and you would fail this check, you may discard this card and ignore the result and evade the bane. Okay, so we will ignore the result. Okay, ouch. So what happens now? Widow and dearly departed get shuffled back into the location deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5 cards left in the location deck. Let's go ahead and see which card is on top with the D6. It's the second card's on top. So now what we're going to do is, we have in our hand a Vomit Clansman, but he's not going to help us against the Widow and dearly departed. We're just going to get rid of him. We are recharging our hand. So we have a hand size of 5. And now we are going to roll for the Curse of Poisoning. So Curse of Poisoning says that we have to recharge our Explorer's Staff. And now we will advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of the Ancients. And we will encounter the Evil Eye. It's a trigger, and we got rid of our Vomit Clansman, who could have helped out. So we don't examine this card. There's no difficulty modifier. We have a Strength, Knowledge, Arcane, Divine. Okay, so Divine, we're in luck. Drelm has a Divine of D8 plus 3, and we need to roll a 6. So I think we're just going to go for it. D8 plus 3, so 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Okay, so we do defeat that, which is good news. We are going to now use a Cure spell. So it says here that after your dealt damage is not reduced. So we do have to do this right now. Bury 1 random card from your discard pile. So I think we'll just go ahead and do that. We'll bury the Blessing of the Ancients. We have in our hand, do we want to use a Cure now? Because right now we just have the Vomit Clansman and a Whip. I don't really know if we really want those cards or not. So what we're going to do is, we are resetting our hand. Yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll do the Cure spell. Rolling a d4, we get, so what happens is that we get all the cards back into our deck. So I'm just shuffling those back. So now we don't have any cards in our discard pile. So one more shuffle there. We're going to roll to see if we recharge the Cure spell. So we rolled a 3 plus 5. We needed a Divine 8. So we did not recharge that card. It gets banished. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we will reset our hand. We're going to roll for the Curse of Poisoning. It says we have to lose our Blessing of the Elements. Ouch, that really sucks. And now we will advance the Blessings deck. That curse of poisoning is really hurting us. Okay, we get the Caravan Raider, so there's no difficulty modifier. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our Copish. Combat 9. We'll do a Combat 9. You know what? Just let's see. We've met both of the barriers. We're going to use an Explorer Staff, and we're just going to discard it. So this way, it's going to be. It's tough to say. Yeah, we'll do it. We're going to go ahead and roll D10 plus 2D6, and we get to add 3 to this roll. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. So we just made it. Okay, Caravan Raider is gone. We are resetting our hand, and now we are going to go ahead and roll for Curse of Poisoning. So it's a 5. We rolled a 5 there. So we have to recharge our whip. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of the Elements. There's 1, 2, 3 cards left. The problem right now is that we can explore, but so there's no way we're going to be able to defeat Widow and Dearly Departed with the hand that we have. So what we're going to do is we're not going to explore this turn. We're going to toss 2 cards. We're going to reset our hand. See if we got any benefit here. And now what we're going to do is the hand is fine. We're going to roll for the Curse of Poisoning, which is a 1, so we have to recharge our Copish. So we did that. Now what we're going to do is we will advance the Blessings deck. It's a Blessing of the Elements. And looking at our hand, unfortunately, I still don't think we have anything that's going to help us defeat Widow and Dearly Departed. So we don't even have any weapons. We'll go ahead and explore. Final exploration. Okay, and here it is, Widow and Dearly Departed. So we have to do this Charisma or Diplomacy check. We do have a Blessing of Wadjet in our hand, but that's not going to help us out. So we can we do this? Reveal this card and 1d40 your check to acquire a boon. Boon. So this is only good for boons, so that's not going to help us out. We have a Blessing of Wing of Horus in our hand. Dexterity, Electricity, nope. So that's not going to help out either. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and roll our d6. So we rolled 6. We can make that a 7 with the Feather of Mat by recharging that. But we're still going to take a total of 3 points of damage. So we'll have to go ahead and take that as damage. And the Sky Pharaoh's Throne says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have to lose one. We have to bury one of those cards. So burying a card from our discard pile, the Wing of Horus. And now we have to go ahead and do this check, which is a complete fail because we have no cards in our hand, and we need a total of 18. Okay, so as it is, we, of course, at the end of the turn, we have to reset our hand. So Widow and Dearly Departed just go back to the Sky Pharaoh's Throne, and they laugh at us. But fortunately, Drelm still has 5 cards in his hand, and he still had 3 cards in his deck. One thing that really saves Drelm, and one reason why he's still able to be in this campaign, is because his hand size is 5. So that does keep him alive in these scenarios. So that's the state of the deck. One thing that really threw him off was that Curse of Poisoning. I mean, he did have some interesting options if he survived, like with the Holy Light spell. He could use that versus Widow and Dearly Departed because, let me check, yep, they're undead. So he could totally blast the mummy out with the spell. It's just a question of getting Widow and Dearly Departed. So I think what's going to be going on, Drelm will have to complete this scenario again. It'll be his 3rd attempt next time. But so far, I don't think he has what it takes to defeat a Widow. So what's going to be interesting is as he explores these locations more and more, hopefully he'll pick up an item or an ally that maybe will give him charisma or help him out. Because at this stage, I think that's what he's going to need. He's going to be at this Sky Pharaoh's Throne for a little bit till he figures it out. Alright, well, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you found that to be an entertaining scenario. It's very challenging, but I'm liking it so far. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and we will be trying to close the Sky Pharaoh's throne's location next adventure. Alright, thank you.